to the Ascended Cast. Hello and welcome to the Ascended Cast. It's your boy John on here.
It's your boy Shiloh.
It's your boy Deshawn.
And your boy Matt.
Dude, we're excited. We got Mr. Deshawn on here, Mr. Dezzcutz.
What's happening?
It's been a episode in the making for a minute now, so it's good to have you here. Looking freaking swole, man.
What?
Yeah.
Don't do it to me now. Don't do it to me now.
Nice.
I might bust out some more push-ups right now.
Oh, no, we're looking good, man. So it's good to have you on here.
Yeah, it's good to be on here, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, especially all week.
Yeah, man. You know, and you know, trying to plan this with you and everything else. I really wanted to get you on because not only for what you're doing now, you know, being a barber and everything, and your progression in that, man. But like I said, man, we've known you since high school, bro.
Yeah,
we've known you since, you know, before a lot of these tats, before everything else, man. You know, so it's been a true blessing to see, you know, the man you were then to where you are now. So let's just go ahead and you know, to take a quick trip back to memory lane, man, and then just tell us, you know, not only how you know us, and like I said, just start with a little bit of your background, man.
All right, well, shoot, I met all y'all in football. Shoot,
Yeah.
y'all used to play with my older brother or whatnot, and I remember getting smacked by, I think, every single one of y'all. Actually, definitely remember getting smacked by you, man. Definitely by Shiloh. A lot of times I remember, ring my bell, but yeah, and then you guys pretty much just were really like my dudes that really just kind of looked after me, you know, after my brother had passed away throughout through high school. So, you know, y'all were always had a little special place in my heart, you know. So it's just nice being here, you know, especially on the podcast and whatnot. So.
Not for us too. Like for us too, it's a big thing. Like I said, it's been something we've been working on for a while, but just that like brothership. Like I said, I think we've had a couple people come on the podcast and talk about like that time at Citrus Valley, and like this like kind of kinship that's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, a big part of that was your brother's passing. I feel like that brought a lot of people closer going through that just crazy traumatic event. And then, like you said, kind of like going on to the football team, especially. Everyone was looking out after you. Everyone just wanted to make sure that, hey, Deshawn good. Let's make sure we could take care of our brother.
Definitely.
So, no, it's crazy. But, like, all that time, you think back to it, and you're just like, man, like, those, for you, was for 3 years, I think, right?
Yeah.
Or 2 years? Because you were...
I was class of 15.
15, okay, so 3 years of the... Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
Yeah, it is for me, too. And like I said, me personally, you know, going back on your brother's impact and everything else, man, you know, you not only a spitting image, man, but your courage, your everything, man, your demeanor, just your hard work about when you're gonna go accomplish something, you speak more of him and then some, bro. So for me, seeing you progress of that young man, we all, like I said, we all came together for you and whatnot, and just seeing you grow, man, seeing you just, like I say, it's like, I truly thank God every day for that. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, as Citrus, not only was that a major time for us, but for me as a young man, you know, when you go through a passing like that, especially in high school, you know, when you go through any type of loss with your friends or whatever, boy, when it's that close, that builds something in you. You know, that's something to where no one can ever teach you and everything, and that's something to where our parents can't even tell us.
Yeah.
That's a friendship. I like to say on a football field to anybody that's ever played sports with somebody that may have lost somebody, that brings you together more than words. And like I say, throughout all these years now, many years, it's not like I'm out here kicking it with you or whatnot. You've been doing your thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's why I can say that to this day and then some. We're always a phone call away. But like I say, you and your family helped me be a better man during a period in which I never knew that I needed it. So I thank you, my friend, I'm always gonna say I'm proud of you for that. Like I said, I want to get all this stuff out now.
Yeah, definitely.
We can get this going. But yeah, man,
Yeah,
that was one of my major things for you.
Thank you, man. And it's a deep appreciation and stuff like that, because something going through something like that at such a young age, you know, it teaches you a lot. You know, like I'm pretty sure like we all have had our lessons here, you know, especially in that situation and whatnot. But definitely, I'll say with people telling me, you know, like, you know, you're courageous and whatnot. And honestly, I was just a scared little kid. I was a scared little kid, didn't know what to do and everything. But only thing that I definitely did do was to rely on God a lot. You know, didn't know what was going on, especially in a time frame that I could have said, like, you know what, man, forget this. Why would you do this or something like that? But really, I remember I sat down in my room. It's about like a day or two after, and I was just like, look, I don't know what's going on right now. I really don't. I know you got the answers. I'm probably never gonna understand this answer, but just help me progress and help me keep moving forward for my sisters, for my parents, you know. And really for anybody else out there that knew Kevon, because I mean, I remember the day after, when I came back the day after, the school was so silent. I saw a lot of people that were older than me that looked at me like, what are we supposed to do? And the only thing I could really think of is just like, what would my brother really want? I think everybody that knows Kevon, he was always a smiling kid, always messed around and whatnot, but very loving, very, very kind, so that really kept me going, honestly, kept me going and just seeing how much better can I be for him, how can I hold my promises, like running the track meet. That was a huge thing for me. Did not want to do that,
Yeah.
But I remember we had a conversation, him and I had a conversation the day before, and he was like, you gonna run that race? And I'm like, yeah, like you gonna run it with me, right? He goes, yeah, but like, are you gonna run it though? You gonna do your best? I'm like, yeah, I'll do my best. He goes, all right, I want you to place. All right, man. So when that happened, I was like, man, that's the last thing him and I talked about. I'm gonna go out there and do it. Doesn't matter if I'm crying the whole way or not. I'm gonna do it. And you guys having so much support, I didn't expect that. Didn't expect that at all. I thought a lot of people were gonna try to be like, let's leave this kid alone a little bit. But nah, you guys came and really encouraged me to be courageous. So it's not just on my whole courageous part, and it's through God and through you guys as well. So I'm the one appreciating you guys, like I said before.
I love that for you, brother, and like I said, thank you for that as well. Thank you for opening up about that. Sharing that with us, because like I said, I truly feel like a lot of that has made you the man you are today, correct? What are some of those focal points? You say, of course, your thing with God, has truly came from that, really sprouted from that. You say, well, what else really that you carried from not only that incident but your childhood itself that you carry today? You know what I'm saying?
Really, just just trying to push my limits. Honestly, I think from a young age, my father's always kind of like taught us, like, if you're gonna do something, you got to go out there and do it, And I remember, from doing what I'm doing now at barbering, it's so funny when you look back into your childhood and like things that you've done, you would never think that it had like a foreshadow of what you're gonna do now. And I remember my dad would always cut my hair, right? And this all got into like kind of like thinking about barbering a little bit. My dad fucked me up, I ain't gonna lie. I love you, Pop, but man, bald head all day. The fade he gave me, I seen a picture the other day, I said, damn, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing out here, like, God leave. But I remember one day I was like, hey, like, I want to try to cut my own hair. I did that completely. You already know what happened. Messed myself up and everything. And then I, experienced it on my brother for a couple times until he fired me instantly, But it's something that kind of just like always was an interest in my heart and everything like that. And, my dad had always taught us, if you're going to do something, do it. If you're thinking about something, hey, you're young enough to do it, try it out, So, yeah, it's just, I guess, really from like my background growing up, seeing how my parents pushed each other and how they, they always wanted to succeed, it's kind of just instilled that in me. Like, I don't want to just do whatever and kind of just float randomly. I want to have some type of a focal point. And once I found that barbering, really honestly, it kind of touched all aspects of my life. The creative aspect. I used to draw a lot. I don't really draw anymore because I feel like barbering kind of takes that out of the picture. Like by that time I'm done with the day, let me pick up a pen and paper and try to draw. And I'm like, man, I'm tired. Like I'm good. Like I already drew this entire day. So and the social aspect, really, that was something like, when I was younger, I was the shy one. If I was comfortable with you, I'll talk a little bit. But growing up, like I started, really getting into, actually talking to random people. If I'm out at the beach or whatever I'm at, I'm gonna say what's up to somebody. Like the other day, I was in Vegas for this F1 event, and I was talking to the security guard. I ended up befriending the security guard, bro. I walked back in 15 minutes. He's like, "Hey, bro, you back in?" I was like, "You remember?" He goes, "Ah, man, you the only one that's cool." I was like, "Oh shit." and to me, it's like stuff like that. Like it's kind of crazy how working on talking to people and working on your fears in the past and stuff like that, and like conquering them can really open a lot of doors. Like I'm not saying opening the door, talking to a security guard is going to be like life changing, but you never know who you're going to sit.
It could be.
Who sits in the chair. It could be. Yeah. It could be something like, hey, you connect on Instagram. All of a sudden, he has a client or a friend that's like, hey, bro, my client, my friend is a F1 driver. He needs a cut. You never know where these relationships could take you and whatnot. So just really thinking back about where I struggled and what I wanted to accomplish as I got older and whatnot. That's definitely one of those things, like working on confidence for sure.
No, I like that. I like that. You're, I think you hit on the note about like how saying like you never know like where like confidence is going to take you. Mm-hmm. I think confidence plays a big part in it. Like you never know where confidence is going to take you. Yep. Like you may not be, not to say like you're not the best barber, but like you may not be the best barber. You may not be the best trainer.
Yeah.
you may not be the best security guard, but like if you're going and constantly talking with people and talking like that, people are gonna like gravitate towards that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like when you can be a conversation starter, like you can vibe with somebody, and you're like, oh shoot, like what's up, like oh dude, you cut hair, or oh you train people, or oh you do security, like what's up, like I got the gig for you.
Definitely, bro. I've gotten a couple clients like that. There was this one client, cool guy. You know, I still come to this day. I'm not gonna say his name though, because I don't know if we cares about that. But I was in a Cane's drive-through, dog. And he just had good energy. I was like, hey, bro, I like your energy. What's, like, how's your day going? He's always going good, man. What do you do for a living? I said, I'm a barber. I need a cut, bro. You think I can get your information? I'm like, yeah. One of my highest paying clients. Damn. Just saying what's up. Just saying what's up. Just he's at fucking Cane's. You know, you never know where you're gonna find these people at. So, back, pretty much back to what you're saying. Like just having that confidence. Like you said, I might not be the best barber. You might be the best trainer, and vice versa or whatnot. But a lot of the times I see people. Like my clients, for instance, they don't care about the best cut. Now I try to give them the best cut. Obviously, it's my job. I care about their image. I find myself more of like an image consultant than a barber. And now that sounds kind of superficial and whatnot.
Oh, that's a cool way to market it.
Yeah, barbering. Anybody could barber. Anybody. We all four could easily do it. Barbering is simply the act of cutting hair. Honestly, to break it super granular. Image consultant, you care about hey, how does your facial structure look? What looks best for you? I'm trying to make sure you walk out there looking your best, not. Oh, your hair is maintenance. No, it's a completely different thing and stuff. So, but having that confidence behind the chair of like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Even if in the back of my head, I'm thinking, this guy's head is what am I going to do with this shit? I still got to look and be like, hey, no, we're cool and create cool conversation. And that actually drives people in. Like really a lot of people think, oh, you're a busy barber. You must be at the top of the game. No, it goes far into that. I think it's like 40% of it, like your skill level, the 60% is sociability. Are you relatable? Do you, how do you treat the people in the chair? Do you just kind of chop, get them out? Or do you spend that extra 10, 15 minutes, and talking about something, even if the cut's done? Yeah. Just creating that extra little conversation and then being like, all right, man, you have a great day, you have a blessed day, and they come back for more and stuff like that. So, confidence, that's key, 100%.
It's the whole experience.
Yeah, exactly.
It's how you make them feel.
Yep.
Exactly. Like, if they feel great leaving your chair every single time, like, they're going to feel great. They're going to exude that feeling. You're kind of giving that to them.
Yep.
So it's that's why you say like 40% is skill. It's like the rest is that relatability, the how you make them feel.
Exactly. 100%, bro. 100%.
Yeah, I love it because I look at all three of you guys here. Trainer, barber. Two fields that, of course, with what you guys do in the service, people walk out. Mm-hmm. Two ways. They're either going to feel more empowered and happy with whom they're working with or like working out with and or getting their haircut by, or of course they're going to be like, damn, I'm not seeing
I'm
nothing.
having a bad week now.
Yeah, because I
like I gotta wear a hat.
Yeah, my hat.
It's been a long time since that happened, but I remember this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I had that happen. I was like, I think I was going to like Vegas or I was doing something. I was like, I was like, I gotta go. Like I gotta wear a hat, and I'm just like, I can wear a hat to the club, and I'm just like, damn.
Get exposed regardless.
Yeah. I have a random question, man. Because there's always like tattoo artists got to cover tattoos. Have dudes could come in with you just with some messed up cuts, and after they just Captain Save Me. They got the little hat on. They're just like, boom.
Yeah. So it's been a while now. At this point, if people come to me, they usually know to give it a little bit of time and whatnot. But I had this one guy come in. This is like maybe 3-4 years ago, and he comes up with a hat, and it looks like he has like a shadow fade or something like that, like a previous haircut. So I'm like, just do a little clean up, little snip, cool. Hell no, bro. He took his hat off, and this dude had like, I'm not gonna speak in barber terms because I don't want to confuse anybody, but let's just say, bro looked like somebody had a blindfold and just was going at it, and then decided to stop in the middle of it. When I was like, when he took his hat off, I was like, hey, bro, what happened, bro? Like, how long has this been going on for? He goes, bro, I let my friend cut my hair yesterday, and he left halfway through the cut saying like, hey, bro, I can't do this, and dipped. I said, he left you like that? And he goes, yeah. I said, did he give you money for the cut? He goes, nah. I said, whoa, fuck. Probably not your friend anymore, but tell you what, I can give you a high fade, but I'll make sure it's not military or anything like that. So, he did the cut, and he looked in the mirror. It's funny because when he had the mirror, he kind of had this demeanor about him, like, this is the best he's probably gonna be able to do. And it was a regular haircut. I was able to fix it and never even know he got messed up. bro, the look on this dude's face was so like he almost teared up a little bit because he had his anniversary that week, so he was really tripping. Yeah, he was really tripping. His girl was actually one that hit me up. Please, you gotta fix my boy. You know, like I can't have my man looking like that. Like it's our anniversary this week, and I'm like, I'm a little bucked up. You know, like coming on my lunch. Like, oh no, it's okay. No, coming on my lunch. I'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. I'll eat later. You know, it's all good. And I'm glad I did that because bro probably had a good anniversary. Yeah. You know, he was. You know,
that's crazy. He was like, I'm gonna let my boy practice on me the week
before your anniversary. Like, and I get it, man. Be nice to your friends. Everybody starts somewhere, but pick and choose, brother. Yeah. Pick and choose when you're gonna do this, man.
Like, it was probably a little faded.
Something had to happen, bro.
Forgot about his anniversary next weekend.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah.
That was a good idea. Yeah. Man, you know what? You go ahead and the first head ever. Never cut it before.
I was with a friend that cut the hair. Would just like look at it. He's like, "Oh, I fucked up."
Like, he's just I can't do this anymore. The crazy thing is, he didn't tell him, "Oh, I fucked up." He was just like, I gotta go. That's what he said. He was like, yeah, I gotta go. And he packed his shit up. He's like, actually, he didn't even really pack his stuff. He kind of just left the towels up there and just dipped. Grabbed his clippers and dipped. I was like, damn, bro. Like, you didn't question? Like, you didn't be like, nah, you're gonna stay here until
he didn't even see it.
He didn't even see the cut. He didn't even show him. He just said, I gotta go. And just left. And I'm like, this sounds like a garage cut. It sounds like behind dry. That's it.
He just saw that show. Was like,
he went to the bathroom and found out. He didn't know what to look at, but he said, when I saw my headband, he goes, I didn't know what to do. He goes, bro, I'm so. It's like, and like, luckily, honestly, like to get a visual of what the cut looked like. Everybody knows what a one looks like, right?
Yeah.
To an extent, you know, for those listening, it's really low. You got a little bit of hair, but it's really low. It was pretty much like that all the way up to, I say, like the ridge of his head, you know, and then bro had a comb over. So just imagine just a mop on a whole bunch of hair on top, and his one all the way to the top.
Oh,
yeah, it was bad.
That's horrible.
It was like, you gonna let your boy walk around like that, brother? Come on.
So it was a one, bro. That fool's got clippers and was just like,
he just went in. He just went there. He said, look, you just take the wheel and like, nah, it was bad.
He probably had like a comb. He was all like,
he's trying to make it seem like he knew what he was doing, but nah, bro, it was real bad.
Horror story.
I love that, man.
Watching a YouTube video in the car ride over.
Yeah, right. Trying to learn the steps. Like, let me pause it real quick. Yeah, that's the worst way to learn how to cut hair. You just got to do it, honestly. But not like the way he did it though. It's terrible.
Man.
So like learning from YouTube would be a pretty like.
Yeah. I'll say like, especially now. Now anybody can learn. It's super easy to learn how to cut hair now if you dedicate the time to it. It's really a practice. I mean, it's a practitioner thing. You know, if you don't practice it, you're not gonna get good at it. But people, like, back when I started cutting hair, like, almost 7 years ago, there wasn't that many videos out. They were out, they were cool, you know, but it was mainly people trying to showcase their work, you know, like angles of them spinning, like having the camera spin around and say, bro, how am I going to learn about all this, you know, extra stuff and whatnot. Now you have people have academies, you have, you know, the barber industry has really grown, like, substantially in the last 5 years, in my opinion, you know, like, and I think social media 100% is the reason for it. We got our respect back, I guess you should say. Because a lot of people, like, when I started, I love my mom to death. I love your mama. But she was like, nah, my son's not going to be a barber. And it wasn't because, like, she didn't want to support what I wanted to do. It was, you know, she was wanting to make sure her baby boy was going to make sure he's going to make some good money. Because she's like, no, like, you too good for that. And I'm like, Mom, just let me try it out. You know, 19, you never know. You never know. And as soon as she saw me kind of getting good at it and whatnot, that's when she was like, okay, you know, you cool. But, yeah, like, the way that things evolved over time is wild. So yeah, YouTube, to keep it short, YouTube is solid. If you're trying to learn how to cut hair, go on YouTube, pick a good barber, stick with that one barber. Don't be watching 15 different videos, because the way I see, I'm a professional, and there were some videos I'm just like, how the hell did you do that? Like, I would never start the way that some people do, but if it works for them, it works for them. So pick somebody and just ride with them. You be straight.
Yeah. There's like a lot more mentorship too, isn't there now?
Way more mentorship. I mean, like we were talking about before. I'm having somebody that's mentoring me now. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. And I feel like it's kind of good to make sure, even if you know you're experienced in your field, to not be what's the word? Cocky, I guess I should say. You know, don't be arrogant with it. Don't be thinking, oh, I know everything. I've been doing this for 6+ years. Yeah, if anybody asked me to bust out a fade, taper, and all like that, I could do any hairstyle, no problem.
Yeah.
Is there people out there that probably know how to do it better? Absolutely. How to market better? Absolutely. My strength is cutting. I know how to cut. You know, I think everybody can see that, you know, because from the work. Marketing, I'm fucking terrible at that shit. I don't know how to do content. I didn't hop on the wave like I should have. And you have to be humble enough to admit that. I suck at this. go find somebody that's good at it and learn from it. So the mentorships that are now available for barbering is just that they're all over the place. But you got to pick the right one. You got to make sure you have somebody that you've seen do the growth, not just think, hey, I know what I'm talking about. Let me mentor you. You got to be smart with it at the same time.
Yeah, I think too, kind of what you were saying earlier too, like sticking to one person, but like when you stick to that one person, make sure it's someone that like in alignment with like what you're trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Because this has come from somebody that's done mentorship with so many different people.
Yeah.
And I took something away from all of them, not to say it was a negative thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the journey has taken me a lot longer because it was like having to filter out, okay, like this is what I do want to do, this is what I don't want to do.
Yeah.
So I think once I was able to like clear cut know, okay, like this is what I want to do, this is how I want to do it. Let me find that person that is doing it most similar, the most normal, like the most relatable way that possible.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
And that has been like the big thing too. So yeah, I think like mentorship, if you can find that person that you just really vibe with, that you're like, hey, I like how you do your stuff. Like, let me see what you're on.
Yep. And it'll always come at the perfect moment too. I feel like, when you're on that journey of finding that person, you might go through a few people, you might not. I remember I was going to do mentorship a year ago, and I was all in for it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this because the guy, I can't remember what his name is, Elliot from like YouTube. I don't know if you guys ever seen him before. He's a black dude, cool as hell. Seems like he's cool as hell, at least.
Like Elliot Holmes?
Yes. And he's transitioned into a different type of podcast and stuff like that.
He's more religious Catholic.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. I don't know when he made that switch and whatnot, but before when he was just kind of focused on more so like more life foundation, I guess you should say. I was gonna do it with him,
like life coaching.
Yeah.
Like
when he was more into life coaching. Now
it
seems like how you're saying he's more religious and whatnot with some of his stuff. For some reason, it didn't go through. Like everything could have went through it, but then I was just like something just didn't feel right. So it kind of just like floated away without me realizing it. And I was just like, you know what? Like, okay, I wish next time I get an opportunity to get mentored, I'm going to take it. And then I see this guy that I'm with now. His name's Joel. And, dude, I remember watching him, like, blow up on Instagram. And his cuts was clean. His content was always new. His content was consistently going up organically. Because obviously we all know people out here buy followers and all that stuff. He's having engagement, like hundreds of comments and thousands of likes. And it's like, okay, this is legit. And seen him climb, and all of a sudden he disappeared for a little bit. I say a few months to not put an exact date on it. And then I see him come back. This motherfucker's ripped. Motherfucker is doing shit that you could tell, like, oh, he figured something out. I don't know what it is, but he figured something out. And I'm watching these videos, and he just decided to start mentoring not too long ago. He's always done it, but now he's doing it on a grand scale of like having online courses. I wouldn't even say courses. I'd say more of a membership, like because there's only a certain amount of people that he takes.
Like community.
Yeah. And I think I took like the last slot, maybe 2 slots or something like that. And we actually just had the meeting today, and talking to him, everything aligned. And I told him because he had asked me like, oh, I see you run marathons and stuff like that. Like, what got you into that? And I was like, hey, dude, a year and a half ago, I had some shit happen to me, which we can get into later if you guys want to.
Oh, yeah.
That I went against my code. From what I said for myself as a man, like I'll never do this, and I almost did that thing. Technicality wise, I guess I did do the thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
But that really affected me more than actually the event. So the consequence of the event was, it was temporary. It was like 2 weeks. I was kind of, feeling better. But what it did to me as a person inside broke me. Spiritually,
yeah.
Everything. To where I needed to really sit myself down and be like, I need to make a change. Like this isn't something that's I'm okay with. I need to really like sit down and just really dig deep. And it's a painful process. I'll tell you that right now. It's not fun. If anybody tells you, oh, you could change, this could be great. It'll be great. The outcome will be great. But during it, be prepared to hurt your feelings, but you got to be your best friend at the same time, And as I'm telling him that, that's what I told him. I was like, that's what got me into, like really running. I lost like 30 pounds. I think it was like 25, 30 pounds in a month just because I was just dedicated. Just boom, 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 boom. And he had the same thing. He kind of was like, oh, yeah. Like, he was like, we don't have to get to specifics. He goes, but yeah, I had the same experience. And he goes, so I could really relate. He goes, it's kind of crazy. Like, life is a mirror. This is what he says. He's like, life is a mirror more than it is, a viewpoint and whatnot. Don't quote me exactly, Joel, if you hear this. But he did say life is a mirror because you attract what you are. When you really are, I feel like you attract what you are when you really understand yourself more. When you're starting to master yourself more, you're going to start eventually attracting people, or people from the past all of a sudden start coming back. They're on the same wavelength like you guys, stuff like that. Like you said, like we all know each other. It's not like we hang out every day. It's not like we talk every day. But somehow, some way, life brought us back in the same spot. You're doing your thing, Matt, you with your online coaching and just your business going in general. you're doing your training, you're doing security. It's like everybody's on the same grind. Everybody's trying to elevate. Everybody seems like they're doing better. So it's kind of crazy how life really does wrap around and just really make people come back to you that are on your same drive. So it's pretty cool.
I like that. I like that.
I love it. It's all yours today. It's all yours right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the little yo-yo effect, I call it. You know what I'm saying? You whip that mug back, it's going.
Yep.
I like you when you say like certain life events, whether it's good or bad. You look at like how you said like how you handle them, and I feel like what you said earlier about like the situation with your brother passing.
Yeah.
I go back and like I think a lot of things in my year this year for me like it's go back to God. And like that's where like I found like that change, like you said, that change you're looking for, that answer that you're looking for of like I don't want to be here, like where's the change I need to make, and it's not an easy process. There are going to be some days where you're not feeling like you're doing enough. There's going to be some days where you're going to feel like, damn, I messed that up, or like, damn, like I was doing this before and like this is where I'm at now, and it's just like that self-talk in your head of knowing like, hey, I just gotta trust what God's putting in front of me, and that's literally been for the past 6-7 months what's kept me in a good stable headspace of just like this happens, okay, I have to handle this now, or I have this happen, now I have to handle this, or okay, like now I have to figure this out. And it's like that mindset of like, okay, like whatever's happening, and we've said this before, like it's happening for me, it's not happening to me.
Yep.
So like everything that's happened this year, I'm learning and I'm gaining from it.
Amen.
And yeah, no, exactly, like, amen, because like what I've lost this year compared to what I've gained there's no comparison.
Yeah,
honestly, there's no comparison.
And it really like one of the things that I did, like when I've always followed God since I was little. I mean, shoot, as far as I can reach back, I've always remembered. I've always been trying to just include God in any type of way, But what I did like for the first time was I got baptized, and that was really important to me because it's like it's different from saying, and I'm just speaking for myself personally. It's different like, oh, I believe in God, you follow God and whatnot, but one of the main things that he wants you to do is get baptized. And once I did that, it was the weirdest thing, man, because I'm not really much of an emotional person. Like, I mean, yeah, crying and all that stuff. Like, hey, men out there, it's okay to cry. However, doesn't mean you got to be crying about everything, okay? But side note.
Yeah, very true. Facts.
Yeah. But when I was in line to get baptized, right, I'm feeling good. I went to church. I was like, I'm about to get baptized today. I'm happy, smiling. And I got in that line, boy, I was crying. But crying like as if things were being lifted off of me. Every single thing that was hurting, every single thing that from the past that I was holding on to. And I'm talking about, I'm reaching back to, probably stuff that's 16 years old that I was holding on to that I didn't realize that was still affecting me. And it was just crazy how light I felt when I came out of that water, and everything just became so much clearer. Some stuff I used to worry about, stop worrying about, like in the sense of money. Like I think everybody has experienced some sort of money management problem or anything like that, right? And I feel like a lot of people in today's world, especially, focus so much on money. Like, oh, I gotta have this. That's what I'll say. They put their value in how much money they have, as opposed to the things that they do possess that are important. Because money comes and goes. You can hold on $10,000 for a year. It's still gonna be $10,000 at the end of the day. But once it goes, it goes. And if you think, oh, I'm worth more because I have $10,000 on me, and now I'm worth less because I don't have it on me, well, you got life all twisted, my brother. Because I went from stressing about almost every week about how much I should be having because if I don't have this as a man, this and that, to is the things that I need provided for. Is God providing me these things? Yes. Okay. So let's stop stressing about the other stuff that doesn't have to worry about it. And like how you said, like when you really put that towards God, you really have a lightness about you. It's a peace that you can understand. When everything seems like it's going to shit, you're chilling. There's been so many times where it's just like I've been on edge, like money-wise, right? And I'll pray about it. And I'll start because I'm human. We're all human. You're gonna feel that anxiety. You're gonna start feeling like, oh shit, you start freaking out. But you gotta remind yourself, like, yo, relax, pray about it. And as soon as you're done praying about it, let it go, and see how life works itself out. And I'll tell you, man, it's happened 10 times over every single time. And I'm just like, I'm glad I chill because then I can focus on the things that are important, like my family, love. Expressing kindness, and not being so wrapped up in my stress where I'm just like a, fucking asshole the whole day and stuff like that, because you're worried about other things, So yeah, definitely give your stress to God, and that's something that was the missing piece in my life that I discovered when I had gotten baptized, and that's what really led me to be able to do, I think, a lot of the things that I was able to do, that I'm still trying to do with my life. So,
yeah, man, I love that. That saying, let go and let God. That's a big saying. And of course, with me, I'll be the one to say that, but then of course I'll turn around and then, I would have a very hard time, practicing what I'm preaching, but because it's very hard, to tell that to people. And then when things are even in some type of turbulence, you can still handle it. So it's just like, oh yeah, I let go. But it's when, the back's against the wall, like I said, when you had to pay rent, you had to help out a family member, or you had to do certain unexpected things, and now you got $40 to last you 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh yeah, I got.
See what I can really do now.
I got some problems.
Yep.
So
what's funny about that is like I this is probably like maybe like a month or two ago. We were having a conversation in the parking lot after a workout, and I was like, Shiloh, we're gonna look back at like these situations one day and like just laugh because we're gonna sit here and just be like, damn, we really were like making stuff happen on like these type of budgets.
Yep.
And it's that full circle moment of like a lot of things. I had a little story, and it's funny you kind of touched upon that, but like the whole gratefulness of just like being with your family, being with your loved ones. I kind of had something like that happen at Thanksgiving, to where in the middle of the year, like my parents' health, like a lot of things changed with them, and so for us to be, and there's other things going on too, and so for my family to get together for Thanksgiving, it was funny because I was the last one that got there. So it's funny how this all worked out. Originally, none of my family was going to go. And then I said, well, I'm going to go. I was like, I'm going to go because, like, I don't know how many more times, like, you never know when someone can leave.
Yeah.
And so it's like, someone told me this a couple years ago. They're like, think about, like, how many times you see your family members a year. If it's, like, 2 or 3 times. Now look at your hand and count, like, 5 years. Are you okay with seeing them in that amount of time? Like, 5. So if you're seeing them 2 or 3 times a year, are you okay with seeing them 15 more times for the rest of your life? And if you are, great. But like you make the most time like of those experiences. So I've lived by that philosophy for the past couple of years, and so that's why I was like, I'm gonna go. So the automatic, my mom was like, oh well, no, if I'm gonna go too, because my mom, let's say she wants to go, but she's not gonna rock the boat.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go. Then my dad changed his mind, and then one of my brothers changed their mind, and my other brother changed their mind. So we all ended up going. And I was talking to my Nino when we were there. And I was just like, this is kind of what makes all the, I say bullshit, like of this past year kind of worth it, is like knowing and seeing my mom's happy, knowing and seeing my dad's happy, my brothers are like getting along. Like I was like, this is kind of what makes it worth it, of like trying to manage and deal with all that stuff. Is because what felt like, okay, God's leading me down a path that I don't even want to go down with, or now I'm here, having good memorable time with my family, good Thanksgiving. So that's where, like, I saw that happen, where it's like your gratefulness is like, whatever you're getting led down, really enjoy that experience, because it gives you the appreciation for things even more when you do spend that time with your family.
Yep. It's all preparation.
Yeah.
It's all preparation, just to make sure when you got to worry about things that are important, you're prepared to actually be able to experience it and enjoy it, instead of being caught up in in the past, like holding grudges or anything like that. Like. Holding a grudge that keeps you from doing family events and whatnot. Like, I feel like that's kind of going on with my family right now, which, I'm praying for it and all that stuff. But you hold a grudge, it's something that happened. It happened. Whatever it is, there's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing you can do to change the fucking past. So why worry about the past so much? Why, just say, screw it, I'm going to go see my family like you did. And it turned out to be probably something that you'll probably never forget.
No, it won't be.
And that's the beautiful thing about grace, man. That's the beautiful thing about grace, is that you give grace, beautiful things can happen. It could be a change of events just like that, just because you decide to be like, you know what? I'm going to put my pride aside, because you're not perfect, I'm not perfect.
Yep.
So let's just be imperfect together.
Okay.
And create something that can seem perfect, if that makes sense. So.
Oh, I was flowing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, going back to what you said, you said how, like, no one knows everything. If you think you know everything, you know nothing.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. It's like, if you think you know everything, then you know nothing at all. And so, like, that's why I don't try to play this, like, oh, like, I know everything when it comes to any aspect of my life.
Yeah.
Because, like, let me hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
Let me hear what they have to say. Let me see what dial I can give to it, and then from there we'll see what happens. But checking your ego and going into conversations, whether it's be personal, professional, just going into conversation and being like, let me check my ego. let me hear what they have to say, and then have that expression. Will open up a lot more doors, and will save you a lot more time. It will save you a lot more time.
Definitely. The loudest one in the room is always the stupidest one. That's usually how it ends up working out.
Or the most stubborn one. I had to learn that lesson the hard way.
Yeah.
Sometimes being stubborn and not wanting to change your mind. And I'll say being stubborn, not in the sense of like, if you know what you want, great. But like being stubborn, like I don't want to hear anything else out. Like I don't want to hear this, or no, like that's dumb. Like no, like let you hear it out.
Yeah. Because that one idea, or you being able to just be quiet for 30 more seconds, might have solved your problem. Just like just by hearing somebody else out. That 15 minutes of them talking, 2 minutes of it could have been like, wow.
It goes back to the experience too. That's one thing I've learned being like a trainer is a lot of people want to be heard. Whether because either one, they're not getting it, whether it's at their work, whether it's at home or whatever like that. So from a training standpoint, when someone's trying to explain to me the problem and what they're trying to do to fix it, instead of getting upset with them, or instead of like being like, oh no, well, that's dumb, like you shouldn't be doing that, or that's wrong, like no, like let me hear you out. Let me give you the time to hear what you're doing. And then redirect, and let's provide you a solution. And I think as a trainer, that's kind of what separated me also from where I was at. So where like I gave my clients a lot of time to like let themselves like express themselves. Yep. And it goes back to like how did I make them feel? I made them feel heard. Yeah. So once they felt heard, then they were a lot more receptive to being like, okay, I am going to follow through. I am going to listen to this. Yep. Yeah.
And it builds your relationship with that person too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like like our line of work, dude. I like to say we're unlicensed psychologists, or unlicensed therapists, I should say, because you hear about people's shit, and it's, I don't want to say people's shit, like it's like, like it stinks.
I think a venting process.
Yeah. But like, you work with people, you're going to hear their stuff, especially if you're a person that you seem like you're cool to talk to or not. You're going to hear this stuff, 9 times out of 10. Like I've had a couple of those incidences to where most of the time the person comes in cool and whatnot, sat down cool, I could just feel like something's not right. And I've been cutting this guy for some years now. So like most of my clients, I've been cutting for like I think my oldest client is my first client actually, my boy Jimmy. Jimmy, if you listen to this, what's up?
Shout out Jimmy.
Yeah, shout out Jimmy, man.
Shout out Jimmy.
So a lot of these guys are family. Even though I only see them when I cut hair and all stuff, and whatnot. We get a lot of updates. And this dude, he was just, I could tell his voice cracked a little bit. I was like, hey, how you doing, man? That's how you greet my clients. What up, baby? How you doing? Boop. I'm all right. Yeah, just, and he swallowed. So I'm just going through a little bit. Like, turn the clippers off. Hey, what's up? What's going on? He goes, nah, it's all good. I said, nah, bro, I got time. What's up? Man, he needed that. Let's just say that. And it was okay. Hey, you can cry in my chair. That's okay. It's Vegas in my chair, but being that type of being that type of way with your clients and whatnot can definitely lead to them to be able to just feel more heard, because you never know where he might not have been heard. He's a young man, he's 21, I think, and I know we all know how it is being 21. Like there's a lot of stuff that we all went through that we had to keep inside and all that stuff, and that shit hurts. So just to be that avenue for somebody to kind of express themselves and get it out so they can continue on with their day in a better light, I think that's it's an amazing thing. So.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, like same thing. Like I've had people come in where like they just don't like they're not feeling it at all.
Yeah,
they're not feeling like they're just there. And I'm just like, no, let's take our time. Like we're gonna stretch out. Like take our time. Let's talk. Tell me what's going on. Let's see what we can work through. Yeah. And like vice versa. And then they get it out. They feel heard, and they're like, all right, cool. Let's go. Like let's work out. And like they have a good workout. So yeah, you'll be surprised in our society. Like especially like you said, with young men. That just don't get heard. Like they hold up a lot of stuff. They hold in a lot of things, and when you give them ability to express themselves and feel heard, I'll say there's being heard and there's listening. And so like when they feel like you're actually listening, like you're hearing what they're saying, that creates a relationship that's just at a very safe place. How you feel safe, and when you feel safe, you want to keep going back to where you feel safe.
Yep. Exactly. Definitely get to that.
That's a bar right there. You gonna always go back to a place you feel safe.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Let me think about this, Shiloh, because when you first started training with me, like we were cool and everything like that. Like we would talk, but I think we got to a certain point like where you would come in and like I'd be like, bro, like what do you guys say? Because there'd be times where he would come in and he'd be like 15 or 20 minutes late, or like he'd just be going through something. And I was like, Charlotte, tell me what's going on. Like, let's get on the treadmill. Tell me what's going on and get it out. And he would talk for like 10 or 15 minutes. All right, cool. Like, you feel better now? Like, I'm mad at you. Like, I get it. Life happens. You feel better now? Then we go have a good workout. He'd have a good workout. He'd feel better leaving.
Yep, that's a true testimony right there. Yeah, I never really, think about it because, of course, I've been blessed with that. A lot of my quote unquote trainers are like my best friends. like that's my ultimate blessing is the fact of I can literally turn to the people that I call my brothers, and they will have the information. They'll train me. They'll do a lot of things with me. But it's that talking aspect. Even to this day, with this same guy right here, when we go and pull up to the gym, we'll go in the parking lot. I'm hopping in his car. We're gonna listen to some bangers, and then while we're listening to some bangers, we end up having a nice little vent of the day. If we got something on our minds, and something like that, which all stem from the conversations that, of course, he allowed me to have with him. And when it's your friend, you don't think about that. But of course, to somebody else, what I'm saying, that when their outlook is you are their trainer or their barber, it's gonna cut deeper than that. Because, like I said, there is no connection that you had prior to them. This is like, oh man, like this person listened to me for real, and then not because he's my friend or he's just gonna like say, yeah, I got you, bro, like yada yada. No, like you're taking that 5 to 10 minutes, and like you guys have probably seen and everything else, those 5 to 10 minutes can turn into a 5 to 10 year relationship with somebody. So that's the amazing part where I've seen in all you guys, every single one of you guys, and I'm saying it to every person that's either a client of them or probably a future one in every way, because my boy Matt, he does massage therapy, he does his thing online in regards to his fitness. My boy John does too. They're knowledgeable in every single way. I got to promote my boys in there, of course, with this man right here. Of course, I got my barber. I got my boy. But over there.
But if you ever need me.
Yeah.
No, I got to talk to you about the image consulting thing.
Yeah.
I like that. No, I like that. I like that.
It's not my words. It's my boy Joel. I got to give him props for that, man. Definitely, when he said that, I was like, yo, like that makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense,
Well, no, just to my idea too, because I've always thought about this like from like a fashion standpoint, just like I feel like I have like a good taste and stuff, but I'm not a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just some stuff that people can see like just from years of just like watching like that. And I was like, dude, like somewhere down the line, like I need to get like a stylist or something like that.
Yep.
Because it's just like the more stuff you do, like you just want to look presentable wherever you're going.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you said image consulting, I was like, yo, that's actually pretty hard, because like how many times I've been like, I've gone a good cut, but then I'm looking like, damn, like I don't know, like there's something missing. There's something like I could have done differently.
Yep.
And then like next time you go, you're like, hey, can we try this? Like I want to try this.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, like that was cool. But so it's just like when I think image consulting, I'm like, damn, like that'd be cool. Like to have someone be like, hey, bro, like you know what, I'm feeling this. Like you should try this.
Yeah, because like really breaking down, if you as barbers out there, if you really care about your craft, like really give a shit about what you're doing, you're going to look at all that stuff. If somebody has a square face, you don't want to give them something that makes their head more square. You kind of want to make something that rounds it off to give a little bit more contour. Somebody has a round face, I want to give them something a little bit more tight so it doesn't, slims out their face a little bit, whatnot, depending on the drop fade or how you structure that haircut, just to keep it simple and whatnot. That stuff matters.
Yeah.
You do a one cut fits all. Okay. Yeah. There's some people going to look good with the cut, and some people are going to be like, hey, bro, like, something's missing. I don't know what it is. That could be the difference between you retaining the client and you keeping somebody or not. So, when you really break down to the little stuff about it, to the divots in their hair, to like really take the time to look at their head and look at them. Because sometimes I'll stare at my clients.
Yeah.
And I'll just look at them and I'll tell them before, like, I'm just looking, because especially I love the words, do what you feel best, bro. Oh, you got to get the best cut in the world, because I have no bars that I got to stay within. I can do whatever I want. So that's when I really sit back and I look and I'm like, all right, how do you style your hair? All the basic questions and stuff. And then I'm like, hey, I'm gonna feel around your head for a little bit, because if you got a full set of head, so you don't know, I don't know what's underneath there, especially if I never cut you. The last thing I want to do is be like, let me give you a fade, and I cut in and you got a wop in your head.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to do that no more. Hey, because now you just exposed probably insecurity into them. I don't want to do that. My job is to make you feel confident, not make you feel like, oh shit, I gotta wear a hat because this is that. So, yeah, image consultant. Like when I heard that first term, I was like, okay, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm changing my shit on Instagram tonight to image consultant, not just barbering. So
I really like that.
Yeah, it's cool. Shout out to him for sure.
Yeah, I love that because especially for me, man, I'm coming into every single call with my boy. I'm like, hey, look, man, I like to say occasions. Mm-hmm. That's me. I'm like, hey, look, you know, I got a big date this weekend, man. Do you think I should switch it up or whatnot? And of course, with my boy Marcus, you know, just shout out to him to where he's exactly like you, to where, you know, it's that image consultant vibe, to where, you know, he's not just gonna say yes to say yes and not just gonna shut down every single thing. He gonna look at you and really vibe with it. And then of course, like it says, I tell him the thing, and then of course he knocks it out for me. But I just always, you know, when I first used to tell barbers, you know, do you think I used to be nervous sometimes, man, because, you know, some barbers, you know, I don't know what it is when I go outside of California sometimes to get a cut. I went to Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
The little Cuban dude, little 4 foot nothing. He done jacked me up. I don't know if he was.
He's gonna give you a cut.
But I don't know if
real quick.
He was playing Pitbull. I was getting the vibe. Yeah, Mr. 305. My thing was red. I'm talking about, like, I got done, like, everything was red. It was hurt. He cut me 3 times, and then he was be like, but then, like, you know, he was just like, oh, like, fresh, you know, this is fresh. I did my thing, and I just looked at this food like, God.
Like, you did your thing. I don't know if I like your thing.
I'm about to get. I was like, you lucky I know nobody out here. I can't wave. No, I can't throw no type of hat up in the air or nothing. Ain't nobody to come to save me. So, you know, it's one of those where, like I said, I'm thankful that, you know, you took your time and like I said, your work speaks for itself, man. But I got a quick little something, because I want to know, as a barber, you know, is there anything that, like, for barbers is like pet peeves? You know, is there certain things as a barber that you just like, oh man?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll start with the funny ones. Staring in the eyes when you get in a lineup. That to me, that shit is so funny. Like, I don't get mad at. Some people get really uncomfortable. I've seen in the shop, like, some people like, hey, what's up looking at me? Hey, me, I'll try to ignore it, but I start smiling, and then they're like, what? And I'll just start laughing, like, bro, like, you're staring at me. Oh, my bad. Oh, that's cool. It's cool. And sometimes they don't even understand when I say it's cool. It means don't do it no more. Yeah. So I'll still be lining up, and they'll still be just like. And it's funny, man, because if you look at anybody that's watching, this is so you understand what I'm looking at. Have one of your friends put up something to your forehead and just stare in their eyes when they're trying to do it, and you'll get the feeling of what I feel. And it's fucking hilarious.
Nah, this fool gives us all the time.
It's just
imagine someone not getting a haircut into you.
You know, it is like it is funny. It's even and it's like I'll mess with them sometimes, and I'll like move side to side just to see what they're doing. And they're just watching my every move, and I'm like, I understand why they're doing it, because they're just waiting for me to have like a surprise expression, like, oh fuck, I fucked up or something like that, you know. But you got to play poker face, you know. You just got to keep it cool. Another thing, I don't really deal with it as much. I've only dealt with it a couple times when people are like, if I'm, you know, cutting their hair and I'm turning around to grab another guard, you know, to put on in my clipper, and I see them turn around in the mirror and try to look. I hate that shit. I get it's your head, but dude, if you turn around and look at this mirror in the middle of a fade, you're going to be horrified. It does not look pretty. It doesn't look good. At the start of a haircut, you start with a bowl cut. If you don't know that, you're going to be like, what the fuck is going on? And, hey, bro, like, just let me finish real quick, you know?
Yeah, that happened to me.
Oh, man, what happened?
I looked when it was, like, towards the bowl cut. I was like...
Right, so quick story real quick. This fool, you were like 16 or 17, right?
Nah, I think I was 15.
Oh, he went into a barbershop and just wanted his.
Because I wasn't driving yet.
Yeah, he wanted a straight 0.
I think I just wanted a 1.
Oh, 1?
1 all around.
Yeah. I thought you wanted a complete bold.
No, I just wanted a 1 all around.
Okay, so he went and paid $30 for that.
No, $20.
Oh, $20? Okay, $20.
Yeah.
And the barber, fucking with him, started at the top and get his full cul-de-sac.
Oh, was it a cul-de-sac?
Yeah, remember he used cul-de-sac because he turned you around.
Oh, it was, yeah, because that's why I was just focused on the top. Yeah, no, it was a cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Turned him around and was like, what do you think?
Hey, I know your heart dropped.
Nah, I was very like I didn't know how to say shit, so I was just like he just started laughing.
He was like, "All right, you done?"
Oh, shit, like, no, you're not. no, you're not.
My mom was like, "You pay $20 for this?" And it just literally went all around.
Yeah. And those types of cuts. It's funny. Like some people ask me, like when they get a super simple haircut, because I charge $50 now, and I'm gonna go up in price pretty soon. But if they ask for something that's so simple like that, I usually adjust it. I just tell them, don't say anything. If somebody asks you how much I charge, don't tell them how much I charge you. Especially if it's a one all the way around, bro. I'm not charging you $50. I'm sorry. Like I'm gonna have some heart to it, bro. Just give me, blah, blah, blah. I ain't gonna say a price in case anybody listening.
Yeah.
All right. Nobody gets discounts unless I say so.
But,
No handouts.
Yeah, no handouts. No handouts.
I just want
Unless
to
it's your birthday or something like that. If I'm nice, But
Bring your
like,
ID.
yeah, you feel me? Like I need proof. I swear I had a client. I don't remember who it was. I swear he had 2 birthdays in 1 year, dog. Like, and like he was like, "Oh, it's my birthday." And I'm thinking in my head, like, "No fucking way, dog." Like, I was like, "I can't say you're lying. I know you had a birthday cut early this year." But I was like, "Hey, you know what?"
He's like, "Oh, it's my girl's birthday."
Yeah, like, oh, it's my pre-birthday. Like, oh, what? Like, all right, yeah. So, but yeah, that's a super funny pet peeve that when they do it, even if I know the one side's done and they can look at it, sometimes it works out in my favor. Like and I know they're about to do it. If I'm in the middle, like if I got to go to the bathroom in the middle of the cut, I know they're gonna turn around. And it's funny because they all try to make it seem like they don't turn around. Like, guys, I know exactly where I put you. I know the cape didn't have that fold in it when I left, and and if they, usually, I don't have to deal with it anymore. Like I said, like they trust me at that point. Another thing, I'll say I'll say not trusting the barber. You gotta trust your barber, even if you've never gotten cut by him before. You gotta have a little bit of trust. You can tell when they don't. And the reason why I say it's a pet peeve is because it's not like the person's being rude or anything like that. It's just how his body's reacting to it. He gets a little hot, a little sweaty, and I ain't gonna lie, when you're sweaty, even remotely just moist, it makes it so much harder to cut the head because your clippers are like nowadays the new clippers are starting to become better to where they don't have to worry about that, but you're not gonna be able to cut as smooth, And it's like, and I notice every time, like, "Hey, you good, bro?" Like, yeah, I'm good. You a little hot? Like, yeah, I'm a little hot. I'm like, all right, turn on the fans, try to calm down a little bit and whatnot, and then I'll let them peek. I'll allow them to peek at it just so they know, like, calm down, like it's cool and whatnot. Because when you get cut by somebody for like let's just say they're changing somebody after 5 years, you're gonna know. It's gonna feel different. Everything's gonna be like, wait, my barber doesn't do this. He's doing this. What is this? What's going on? Just calm down, brother. Calm down. You good. Other than that, I have great clients, man. I gotta shout them out. Like honestly, like I never really have to worry about anything weird with them or anything like that. But when I seen in the shop, just like I'll say, there's one that I'm glad I never deal with. I saw a dude sit in a chair, and he FaceTimed his girl, and he goes, "Hey, girl, like, what did you say I should get?" And he's like, "Hey, bro, like, what do you want?" He goes, "Nah, I gotta see what my girl wants me to get." Like, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that, dude, because I'm not gonna lie, you girlfriends out there, if you go with your guy to get a cut, don't say nothing. Don't come over and try to direct us. I've seen it full on, like, "Oh no," like in the middle of a cut, they'll stop and be like, "Oh, can you get that? Can you get that? Can you get that?" Don't do that.
Damn.
Don't do that shit.
Like
it's like the mom with the kids.
Man. Yeah, and they low-key moms with kids are better. They gotta just, all right, they trust, they know. He knows what he's doing, but the girlfriends, man, it's the girlfriends.
Interesting.
Really?
The girlfriends.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like, not the ones that I deal with. The ones that my clients' girls know, like, let Deshawn, Dez, whoever you call me, let him do what he's doing.
I feel like this is one of those things where like insecurity, like if you're going with your man to go get his haircut and you're like have to nitpick it, you're probably trying to fuck him up a little bit just so he don't look good.
You feel me?
Yeah. Like,
it's a subliminal.
Yeah.
Hey, that looked a little too good right there.
Yeah.
He might get, he's not going to Target. Yeah, we're going to Target after this. He's not going to look that good, and they're going to fuck it up.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I don't like this barber.
Yeah, he's a little too good. You
We're
make
not going back
my man walk a little too confident. Or
He
whatnot,
sucked,
you know?
man. He sucked.
Yeah, right. Yeah, hook up with the first guy in the
fucked
chair.
you up.
He's like, damn, I feel good. Honestly, he kind of fucked you up.
Yeah. Like, man. Like, yeah, so yeah, that's really all the ones I could really think of right now. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can think of some more, but if I do, I'll spit them out a little bit. But yeah, those are pretty much it.
I just keep my eyes closed most of the time.
Yeah, that's what I tell them.
When
Close
they're
your eyes.
around over here, when they're around this, I just close my eyes.
Yeah, just close your eyes. I even at this point now I tell them, close your eyes, brother, because some people know, some people don't. Some people just stare straight. They don't even look at me. They just stare straight. At that point, I'm like, bro, like, are you good? What's going on? You know. So
Trans.
Oh, another one, dude. Everybody's entitled to do whatever they want, right? It don't do drugs before you sit in the barber chair.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. Like,
I've almost fallen asleep.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, if you
almost fallen asleep pretty bad in the chair. I was way too high.
Yeah, you know, like, hey, and I got some of my clients, you know, like if I know they smoke, because I smoke here and there, I'm actually leaning off of it a lot. I'm actually finding out that I don't like it as much as I used to, which is kind of weird, you know, kind of just happened out of nowhere. But anyway, bro drank a whole edible drink. Right? I've never messed with those before, but I've heard those things do some shit to you, man. And he didn't know. I don't know how he didn't know, but he didn't know. He drank a whole lemonade. Drank the whole shit.
One of those had me contemplating because I was in my bed. I drank one of those.
Yeah.
I had to pee, but I was so like sedated.
Yeah.
I was like, can I sleep through this and pee in the morning? And I was like, no, motherfucker, you better get up now. Yeah. I just felt like melted into my bed. Like, Freddy Krueger could have got my ass.
Yeah, easily, 100%. Yeah, shoot, 1, 2, 3, his eyes on you, easily. And this dude was struggling, like, and it was to the point where I didn't know. I was like, what's this guy on? Like, is he on a pill? Because he'd be talking to me, but the conversation was cool. Like, we were able to talk. He was able to hold the conversation, but his eyes would like twitch up, and he would go cross-eyed a little bit. I'm like,
cross-eyed.
Yeah,
that's
like,
MDMA.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's going on? You know, like, and I, you know, like, I could have said something. Because it's like my third time cutting him. He's always been cool before. I'm like, nah, this is something different. I don't smell no weed on him. I'm like, you know, I'll talk to him about it next time. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But like the reason why it's pet peeve is because, you know, he's moving a lot. You're sweating because your body's trying to just probably knock this shit out, you know. So it just makes it more difficult. It just makes my job more difficult. And I wanted to give you guys a good haircut. I don't want to ever be like, it's your head, you know, fuck you up. Nah, because at the end of the day, you're walking around and somebody asks you who got your haircut, who did your haircut. You know, it's me. Yeah. And they have no idea the circumstance I had to do it in. Yeah. So I still want to make sure, like, hey, bro, just if you're gonna smoke after, or if you can't handle it. Some people can handle it, some people can't. It's just funny, you know, he comes down next time. This person he told me, he goes, Brian, I'm so sorry about last time. He goes, I was so fucking high. And I was like, oh, no, it's all good. Nah, I get it, but don't do that shit again, like, big dog. Like, that's just too much, you know. Too much for me to handle. I just want to do my job and have a good time, brother. That's it, you know.
Man, it's funny we got on this because this was definitely my next question, man. Because there's been quite a few times, you know, in my life, and especially with Journey, with the good old Mary Jane, you know, especially when I used to be with the Tough. I used to always go in, and I remember one time, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro, I fell asleep for real. It was good, you know, the barbershop was nice and cool, the air was good.
A little too perfect.
He sat me back, you know what, it was for the lineup, because you know, you sit that motherfucker back, and you know, it's cushiony, and yeah, brother, it got me. I fell asleep.
And on the way back up,
No, so here's the thing.
Shit.
It wasn't even on that part. This fool, I guess, was trying to line me up, but he was holding my head.
Yeah.
So
maybe the bobblehead. Where your neck is pointed in the wrong direction. You just like limp down. I've had that so many times where their head is like, and it's crazy because it's like a bobblehead. I don't know what happens if you go to sleep. Some people either stiff neck, which is my favorite. If you go to sleep, you're stiff neck. That means you're gonna stay still. And you got the ones that you hold your head, did you feel support, and your body just falls. And you just gotta find a way to just kind of be like, all right, dog. Like I caught myself.
Common? People sleeping on you,
dude. People fall asleep in my chair all the time.
Okay,
I take it as a compliment. Yeah, I take it as a compliment. If you fall asleep in my chair, that means I'm not fucking you up in a sense of I'm not playing, you know, MMA with your head. You know, I've seen some barbers and you're getting cut and they're like smacking the head. And I'm like, bro, that's uncomfortable. Yeah. If you fall asleep because they're like, oh, it's like a massage, that's cool. I just know now who can fall asleep and who can't fall asleep. And I'll wake them up subliminally, like, go from a distance, get my spray bottle. Oh, you up? Yeah, what happened? You fell asleep. It's all good. They have no idea I sprayed them with a bottle of water and like that. So it just depends on how it happens. But falling asleep in the chair, it's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, I'll let them sleep because, like, doing the cut when they're asleep, it's not really bad. You can kind of bend their head out.
Wake them up with the spray of alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's just so funny. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny because I'll purposely like put like, and it's not malicious or anything like that. It's just to kind of like, hey, wake up, motherfucker. Like you got to drive, man. Wake up. I'll do the little razor, a little extra. It doesn't hurt them, nothing like that at all. And I'll go a little close. Usually I'll go from a distance so the mist hits them. So it does its job, but it doesn't like burn. But I'll just go a little closer. Ooh, yeah. You all right? You good? Yeah, we're good. We're good. You know, so. Yeah, no, it's definitely a thing. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, that is.
I really feel like that is the ultimate. The ultimate. I'm comfortable, sir. Because right when
if you're comfortable, fall asleep somewhere. I mean, you're
not worried about shit. Ain't no way I'm falling asleep. I'm scared. No, sir. But yeah, no, I'm glad to say like they're all comfortable, so they know they can knock out. No problem.
Now Shiloh's blood sugar drops.
I should not be laughing like that. That one was good. Nah, it was cool. No, but yeah, man. So we got through the peeves, man. Tell me real quick before we just, man, to transition on to livelihood now. I just want to close up with this barbershop, man. What are your future goals, man? Well, what's really, you know, that next step for you? You feel like in the barber game.
So that's a good one because I've always, when I started out, it was always I wanted to open up a shop, right? I was like that's usually I feel like the typical thing that when you start barbering, and as I get to the point where I'm at now in my career, do I want a shop? Yes. Do I want to run a shop while I'm still behind the chair? No. And I only say that because it's a lot easier to keep a shop going the way that you want it if you're just managing it. You know, I don't want to have to worry about my clients, but also worry about my barbers getting there on time and worrying about their clients and making sure the shop is run cool. Because right now, I mean, with my work schedule, I work 6 days out the week. Now, if I choose to take a day off, that's a beautiful thing about being a barber. I'm my own boss. I can do that. But I'm working 10-hour days, you know, so, and that's me focusing all my attention on my people. You know, where am I going to fit in to make sure that my crew is going to be ran correctly? Where am I going to fit into where I know my people are going to be taken care of correctly? You know, I don't want to fall. I didn't want to fall into this whole thing of like, oh, I'm getting extra money and that's fucking it. Because I came from a shop, you know, no disrespect to the shop that I came from. But they eventually, I saw the transition of them worrying about money. And I seen how unhappy barbers could be and whatnot. And it got me thinking, like, okay, do I really want to put myself in that situation? And then once you own a shop, you're responsible for other people. You know, do I really want to put them in that situation? And barbers I don't even know about. I got to care about them. You know, so I would rather wait until I'm like 30, which is only 4 years away, you know, to where I have, you know, to where I get the point where I went in my career for me personally in a sense of like just expanding, cutting, you know, eventually touching like celebrities and stuff like that, which I'm not saying celebrities is the main point of the game and all that stuff. I'm thinking of celebrities are more so like connections, networking. Because you think, you know, oh, you got a celebrity, you probably paid him $2,000. Hell nah, bro. Celebrities are stingy just like everybody else. They're people. You can have a celebrity that knows they make millions and you tell them 200 and they're, what? Nah, I ain't paying nothing over 100.
Yeah.
Huh? So
those NBA and NFL players.
Oh man, dude. Yeah. Sometimes they don't want to pay what you want, you know. And I've never ran into that situation because I haven't cut anybody in that caliber yet. I haven't really focused on it, but I'll say definitely once I get my content up, that's one thing that's my goal right now is just getting my social media presence more. You know, I'm not really much of a social media guy. Like I'll post on social media, but more so like try to be motivational, or I'll try to say something like on Sundays. Or post like, hey, I did a run. But in a sense of getting like super, super into it towards I'm glued to my phone, nah. And unfortunately in the world that we live in, so I say unfortunate just because I'm just a very in-person type person. I go to a concert, I'm not recording. I'm recording with my eyes, you know.
That's me, right?
Yeah.
That's me, bro.
And it's hard, you know, and I think you can relate to this too, Matt, is that you have to be more open and you have to be more on your cell phone to take away that real time and make sure you capture it just so your followers and your brand is met in certain circumstances and stuff. So that's something that I definitely need to focus on and still learn how to have fun with it. You know, and this mentor is for sure. I already know he's going to take me where I got to go and how to do things because when I listened to one of the classes say, signed up today and there was a fucking class later on in the night, you know, and I was cutting, but I was listening. And one of the guys was like, he was saying like, hey man, it looks like you're too stiff. And when you're cut, it's like, it doesn't seem like you're being you. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, I don't want to get too comfortable because if I get too comfortable, I cuss a lot. Like that's just what I do. And he's like, fucking cuss. He goes, yeah, but I want to make sure, like, I don't want to be like pushing some people away from my page. He goes, dude, be you, be authentic. Yeah. You know, you can still, you know, you don't have to try to portray somebody else just because you want more people to be you want to be family friendly on your shit, dude. People are gonna fuck with you whether they fuck with, you know, whether you cuss or not. You know, so. That is something that helped me just automatically knowing like, okay, just be more authentic. You know, it's okay if I cuss up a storm. It's okay if I'm a Christian man, I'm cussing up. You know, I'm not, well, hold on, let me say that right. I'm not saying it's okay. For me personally, though, be yourself. You know, it's not going to change the way people think about you and all that stuff. If people are going to ride with you, they're going to ride with you. So, yeah, just really making a more of a presence known on my social media platform because that is in turn going to, you know, in turn going to, you know, go into other avenues of my career, which is, you know, of course, a more surplus of clientele. which is going to, of course, surplus my money. And then at that point, get more money, able to do more things that I want to do, like opening up a shop that's able to connect with the community. So that's my goal. My ultimate goal is to create a shop that is in tune with the community, a real barbershop, not this stuff that's popping up nowadays towards 15 plus chairs and the aesthetic. I'm always hearing that, in barbershop, oh, that aesthetic. Okay, well, what about the community aspect of it? What are you doing for the community? Are you just providing haircuts, or are you actually creating a safe spot for kids? In a sense of, hey, Jimmy, instead of you slanging dope on the side of the street or anything like that, come sweep for me. Teach them some life lessons, bro. You can make it to where, hey, kids get straight A's on a haircut. I mean, not a haircut. Kids get straight A's on the report card. Come get a free haircut. Stuff to motivate the community to become better. Not just
I like that.
Not just, oh yeah, we offer services for your haircut. Nah, man. I want to be that barbershop that really touches the community. I have an LLC already for it, so the dream is there. I just got to work on it. I call it creative culture. I haven't really spoken much about it because I'm still doing the groundwork of it, but that's what creative culture really wants. I want that to represent, a place where a barbershop is a creative spot. You have different cultures come around, and when you blend it all together, you get something beautiful, and I want a place where somebody can come and express themselves, throw some artwork on the wall, so if a kid that, may feel like he's alone and all he does is draw in his room can at least express himself on the wall. And when he comes in the shop, he can feel proud of it, and it'll keep him going. It'll keep him in a positive mindset. It'll bring people in that, if you need some place just to kick it, just to get away, you have that, the other avenue to go to, as opposed to just feeling like, oh, you could just, I'm just going to go get my haircut at another supercut. But yeah, they know how to cut hair a little bit better. Like, nah, I'm trying to really impact the community in that way. Doing charity events, it's stuff that I'm talking about now, but it's stuff that I definitely want to make sure it gets started within the next couple of years. It's just really like my first thing that I really want to do is create like a little program to where kids get taught how to cut hair. I take about 15 kids maybe, and I just teach it for free. I don't care. I don't need your money. I make my own money. But I want them to have something to where if they're in that situation to where one day they want to make some money for their families or something like that, they don't turn to the bad things. They don't turn to drugs. They don't turn to, oh, well, this is quick, fast money. Well, this is also quick, fast money and it's legal.
You're giving them a skill.
You're giving them the skill. So they can then, who knows? They're in a position, they're out of college, they're in college, I need to make some money, I'm too busy, boom. Oh, wait, Deshawn taught me when I was 15 how to cut hair. I can do that, as opposed to doing something that can lead them down the wrong path and whatnot. Because I've heard some people, kind of off topic, I guess, but when I graduated high school, they were very bright. But in order for them to get some money, they chose the wrong path and ended up screwing their entire future up. Yep. And I don't want, I'll do what I can do to prevent that from happening. So that's the main goal, I guess, is just create a shop that touches the community and eventually builds from there.
Yeah, I love that. I love your overall vision for it. It's a creative culture.
Yep, creative culture.
Dude, that's like it's beautiful. Just like the overall vision for it. I think just keep building on that.
Yeah.
Keep building on what your intentions are. Keep building on that. Like the other side of that, because that's like a beautiful thing. When you say, like being able to have a space to just kind of go and hang out, I kind of look back to what we said about Wingman. And how just like giving kids a place where they can go, hang out, feel safe, not have to worry about if they've got stuff going on at home or if they got stuff going on in their personal life. And like you said, they can learn, they can just hang out. Like we need a lot more things like that with how society is right now.
Yep.
And I think that vision you have, I think, can touch a lot of people.
I hope so. I appreciate that, bro. Yep. That's definitely keep your eyes open for it.
I am. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm big on that because my little two cents, like I said, but before we go ahead and push on, is that whole thing about when people make money, it's especially for us, we see a lot of people make money, but the big disconnect in our society is that a lot of people make that money, but they don't really pay it forward back to the community. They'll say, oh yeah, I made $100,000, and they'll tell us our sleeping habits and the books they read and everything else like that. But it's like, okay, but what actual practices? What did you actually do to make that money?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yep.
And to many that they won't. So for you, when you set up something that, of course, yes, for free, time is money, but at the end of the day, what you're going to be paying for to these kids is a lifelong lesson and a memory, which to some of them, like of course we talked about with Wingman before, but it's one of those to where when young men and women too, when they reach a certain point, you know, well, what are they really gonna go grab onto in their childhood? Is it gonna be the way out or the way in?
Yep.
Is it gonna be a way out into a better life or a way into prison? Way into a lot of the things, because it's a lot easier to go to somebody and you know that they'll give you a QP of some tree or whatever to go work with and to flip, versus somebody that's gonna give you 45 minutes, an hour of their time to truly look at. Okay, look. This is how, you know, screw it. You're going to learn how to freaking come with the sink. You know, we're going to learn how to do this. You know, we're going to learn little skills that maybe a father would teach their son or whatever. But a lot of these people don't have maybe a father figure, or even for the woman's standpoint, being a woman barber, there are some of the coldest in the game that I've experienced.
And most scrutinized, man. I can't even, not even to cut you off. Like, man, you got a girl that knows, like, they're gonna look good. They're in the beauty industry, right? But they get judged. Oh, she's just trying to show. She only got them followers because her ass. Or look at her haircuts, dog, and then look at yours. So don't tell me it's because her ass. Yeah. Does it help her? Maybe. I'm not gonna say it does, because I've seen a lot of barbers that have ass, and do not like female barbers that have ass, and you know, and don't and cannot cut. You think their books are filled up? No, you know, so
they might have a little bit more followers, but
but that's
exactly. Going back to somebody, if they ain't giving you a good cut,
and you know, and it sucks that they're scrutinized as much as they are in the industry, you know. But going back to what you were saying,
I love that you touch up on that, because like I said, that's something that
Hey Matt, quick question. We're right around 8. Are you cool going a little bit longer?
Yeah, we can go like I can go like.
No, cool. Yeah, beautiful. Because especially with me, you know, I just look at it from those kids' perspectives. Because like me, for example, whenever I used to go to the barber growing up, it was the fun place, man.
Oh yeah,
it was a place where, you know, you go in, the environment. The grown-ups are going to be talking smack, you know. I get to listen to the big talk. We get to listen to talk about sports and everything. But, you know, it's the barbershop is a safe haven for of course, you know, it's men and women, but I'm just strictly talking on a man's perspective, you know. That's our safe haven, you know. You could go in, you could go just chop it up with your barber and tell him your 2 cents. Now, just imagine a 14, 15-year-old kid that like we've already talked about with what we've gone through, our crisis, our traumas, and everything else. Now they're coming to you.
Yeah,
come on, man. You're gonna feed them. You're gonna water them with so much good, godly nutrients the right way, to where what's going to blossom in the next generation. Because that's our focus now. We're 26, 27. You feel me? Like we're at the age where, you know, the age of me, yes, you know, it's still kind of there in essence, but now the growth is going to be for the future. For the future, what are we really pushing? What are we really giving to our family and everybody else that's going to be sustainable for a long period of time?
Yep.
So yeah, man. Like I said, I love your vision, love your goal, and then we'll just go ahead and just transition over to, man, because like I said, we talked about your perseverance. We talked about a lot of the traits that you carried over today. But let's just go about the weight loss. You know, a lot of more recent personal successes that you've gone through, the merit, like the running and everything else like that. Yeah. Like I said, let's go ahead and touch upon that, my friend, because I feel like the viewers and everybody would like to know.
And I know you had that story earlier, so I hope.
I got no problem touching on it, because I feel like if you truly move past something, you should be okay talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, no matter, you shouldn't have to be worried about anybody judging you or anything like that. So we'll start there, because this is where my journey starts, right? So I was in a relationship, you know, the same story that everybody starts out with, right? So I was in a relationship, was with the girl for about 3 years. I'll keep her name off of it, you know, for privacy and stuff.
Of course.
Thought this was the one. I mean, I was young. I was younger than what I am now. You know, obviously we're still young, you know, 26, 27. I was like 23, 24. And I was like, you know, yeah, I know we're going through all these problems and stuff like that, but this is the one I want to settle down with, you know? And it was just, it became very toxic. I'll say that, you know, regardless on whose side it was more toxic on, you know, that's privacy and stuff. But I did not handle it the way that I normally would handle things. I usually would go to God and and pray about it, or have an outlet, talk to my mom or anything like that. This is before working out became an outlet. So that is not, that if that was there, who knows, but it was one of those situations where I felt alone and I was hurt a lot. I found some things out, found some stuff out, and I decided I'm going to do the same thing. I think we can all get where I'm getting at, so when I was about to do, that particular thing, infidelity, I'll be honest with it. I almost cheated. And I changed my mind. Nope, never mind. Text the girl, hey, I was tripping. Do not come over. That was a mistake. Apologize and all that stuff. Now, I gave the girl some ammo, and she decided to fire. Do not call it snitching. She ended up telling the girl, even though I apologized. There was nothing wrong. There was 15 dumb messages. Yeah. Not even a mile vicinity of each other. But at the end of the day, you don't do stuff like that, especially if you're engaged. Man, I don't care what you're going through. You got to work it out. And if you know that the engagement is not working and you can clearly tell there's signs of that, sit the fucking person down and talk to them about it. Or it doesn't have to be an engagement. If you're in a relationship and it's not going well, the worst thing you guys want to do is hurt each other. You guys sit down, you need to talk, you need to have a tough conversation. It's not going to be like, I'm not saying it's going to be one of those conversations where you're like, okay with letting the person go because you have an attachment with them, especially if you're with them for years and all this stuff. But if you can clearly tell, like, I am not becoming a better person, I'm probably digressing, and you are as well, it's probably not the best relationship for you, And if you love the person, you gotta let that shit go. Well, I didn't have that conversation. I tried to, but conversations didn't go the way I would have hoped, and I got caught up. So of course, I got blasted on social media. Not honestly, I didn't receive anything from anybody. No hate. A couple of her family members, but it wasn't even like some crazy hate.
It was more, this got messy, like you got to figure that out.
Yeah. And it was one of those things where I just was like, you know what, like I had to sit down, and all my friends were like trying to, they're being friends. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Like, hey, it's not your fault. Hey man, you're a good dude. Hey man, it's just because this and that. And I had to, I remember I was sitting with my boy Montel. Love a guy. That's
Montel Houston?
Montel Houston.
Oh,
that is my boy.
Nice.
Yeah, Montel, Austin, Charles, West. Like I got a lot of people. I that I hung out with back in high school, and we're still tight today. And I remember sitting at the table with Montel, and I was just telling him. I remember saying this. I'll never forget. I was like, I'm not a man. And he was like, what the fuck, Deshawn? I'm like, yeah, you are. Like, dude, look at you got your own place. You got this. Like, I'm not. I was like, to me, I'm not, because I broke one of my codes. You don't fall into temptation and stuff like that. No matter if you're feeling, you don't let your emotions get a hold of you. As men, in my opinion, we need to control emotions, not hold them, but control them. In those situations that are tough to hold them in, your girl's saying some shit that she shouldn't be saying, pissing you off, hitting some dark spots that that only she can get to. Mm-hmm. You hold yourself, and then you go to the gym. You let the shit out. You feel me? You don't implode, because if you do that, the damage you're gonna cause is insane. So and for me, I allowed my emotions to take control of it, and it made my life pretty disastrous for a short amount of time. Mm. So I told him, and he was trying to tell me to stop. Like, hey bro, you're putting yourself down. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm telling myself stuff that I need to hear. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to feel it. Of course I want to push it away and be like, man, no, I don't want to focus on that. But you have to focus on the bad shit. And when I say that, I don't mean like shitting on yourself, but you have to sit down and you have to be real. Like, especially if you get out of a relationship, a very long-term relationship, you got to sit down. If you want to change, you got to realize the good stuff that you want to change about, and also the stuff that's bad about you. Mm-hmm. That you're like, damn, I am like this. Damn, I am like that.
Self-awareness.
And you have to be self-aware. And that shit hurts, bro. I'm telling you. Like, I remember I sat at that table for hours that night. For hours. Like, I'll say, honestly, a good 3-4 hours just thinking. He had left, and I told him, I was like, hey, bro, like, I need some time to myself for a second. Like, then I didn't say, like, get the fuck out. You knew what I meant. I need some time. And in those 4 hours, I just thought about, hey, what kind of man do you really want to be? And at that time, I was a man that, I was on my stuff with barbering, from what everybody had seen on Instagram. Deshawn's doing the damn thing, like, Deshawn's working, he's getting better at haircuts and stuff like that. But I was a person that if I said I was going to do something, I didn't do it. I'm going to say that straight out. I would say I'm going to do something, and all talk, no walk. Except when it came to my job. And the reason why I was so cool, and it seemed like that way on social media, is because it's my livelihood. If I don't do this shit, I'm not eating. But everything else came second. I'm going to start working out. That lasted about a week or two. The 2-week motivation. Yeah, once that shit ran out, that shit was done. So going through that process, I started running every day. I said, you know what? I'm hurting a lot. It's a painful. When you lose somebody that you thought you were going to do something with, regardless of what had happened and everything like that, it's still going to affect you. Because honestly, like when it did end, it was actually a weight off my shoulder because I wasn't having bad things told to me on a daily basis. Like I said, keeping confidential, but.
Yeah, you were just getting up every day.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was getting bad.
That second guessing feeling every day of is this true or is not true?
Every day, man, to the point where
happening or not happening.
Yeah. I guess you can say it's gaslighting, a lot of gaslighting, And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go run. I'm just gonna get on the treadmill. So that's how it started. I would go on the treadmill 30 minutes, and I would run as long as I could. I've set it on 4, dude. I'm talking about like I'm technically you could speed walk this motherfucker, but I'm like, no. I'm going to hang out at the back of the treadmill, and I'm just going to run. And I did that every day for about a month or two. And I actually even took off. I got off of social media, too. I didn't have to. Like I could have kept up on my clients and all that stuff and everything. But I was like, I need to cut out every single distraction that I have right now. And I just need to focus on myself. I need to disappear for a little bit. And, so I put on my social media. It's like, hey, I'm dipping out. I don't know when I'm going to be back. But for my clients, here's my number, And did that. I'm so glad that I did that because it taught me, to really just focus back on the stuff that's important to me, not seeming like, oh, I got to be the best barber out. I stopped worrying about what that other barber was doing. I stopped worrying about what this other person's doing. I just worried about myself, God, myself, and my family. That's really what I broke down to. And when I came back 2 months later, I had lost like 25 pounds. Really lost the love of social media. That was a big reason why I'm like so like whatever now. And if I use social media, I'm trying to use positive stuff. I'm not trying like even like now my social media feed is all motivational shit. Like I purposely put it that way. So if I'm using it, at least I'm learning something about it, not just seeing some stupid shit, on TikTok or sometimes I'll have my little comedy sticks and stuff like that. But most of the time I try to structure my social medias in a specific way, use it as a tool. So when I did the 2 month 2 month and just focused in, posted it. Got a lot of love feedback. Loved it. Not loved it in the sense of like, ooh, I love the love, but more like, okay, I think I'm on the right path. I think, I'm getting good feedback. That means I'm doing something right. So, that kind of kept going. And I was like, okay, well, shit. Now I got to a point where I felt weird if I didn't work out. So then I kept doing it. And I'll say it was about 3 or 4 months in of doing that. I was driving on the freeway and I remember seeing a sign that said like Loma Linda 5K. So, all right. And at that time, now at this point on the treadmill, I'm running about 2.5 miles, and I'm not getting gassed. I'm getting off the treadmill like, all right, what am I gonna do next? So I was like, I think I can do that. Let's try it. Did it. Got there. Did not know that these racing events were the way that they are. They're fucking cool as shit. Like, dude, I'm talking about like you get there and adrenaline's there because you're like, damn, like you got all these people that are just motivated. You just feel the energy around everybody. Everybody's just so motivated about, And it's the craziest thing too is that you think when you go to these running events that all these motherfuckers are supposed to be in shape. Mm-hmm. Hell no, bro. You have people that you wouldn't even think they would even doing this stuff, right. And they're killing it. So it fucks with your perspective. Now you're thinking, oh,
this is Dan Gate.
Yeah, bro.
Remember that?
Yeah, like
doing marathons.
She said, yeah, she would be running them shits. I never believed her, but he just changed my mind,
bro.
She probably was telling the truth.
Yeah, like the 5Ks, you're gonna see a lot of people like that. Whether they run or walk it, it doesn't really matter because people that walk it, some people could be like, oh, well, they just walked it. Okay, when was the last time you walked 3.2 miles straight?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, So I do that, and I'm like, I actually did a pretty good time. I ended up running into a friend when I was out there, Claire Graves. I don't know if you guys know who that girl is or anything like that, but she's a phenomenal runner. That sounds familiar. It sounds real familiar. If you look at Instagram, you once you see her face, you're like,
yep. Yeah, I'm good at faces.
She was. I want to say she was a sophomore when I was a senior. I think. Definitely underclassmen. So you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys didn't know her and stuff. But I was running it, and I'm about to finish, and she goes, I had no idea what my time frame was or anything like that. But she was just like, you're doing really good. Like, really? I was like, oh, for real? Like, I'm thinking, like, she's trying to gas me up. She was like, no, like, seriously, you're doing, like, because she knows I'm a sprinter, bro. What? You tell a sprinter to run 2 miles? Let alone 3? Fuck you, dude. I'm not doing that. That's not my job,
Yep.
And, so once I passed it, the feeling I got when I passed that finish, I was like, I kind of like this. I did it. Like, damn. Nobody can take that away from you. You fucking did it. So I was like, all right. What else can I do? So I just kept running, kept on that same track. And I picked up a book. Now I got into reading. I used to love reading when I was a kid. Like middle school, dude, I was a bookworm. There was one summer I did not go outside. I almost got, actually, no, This is a true story. True story. My dad banned me from reading books for 2 weeks.
Oh damn!
He was like, "Put the book down, Deshawn. Go outside." I'm like, "No, Dad, I'm reading these books. And he's like, "Dude, like, go outside." Look, that's weird, right? You want your kids to read, but then you read too much, and it's like, hey, it's a problem to have. But he was like, "Hey, bro, go." So once I got to high school, of course, like you want to be a cool kid, stuff like that. So you can't read books. What? Hey, if you're in high school, read books. It's cool to be smart. It's not cool to be dumb. I promise you that. Because then you become the most interesting person in the room.
I think going back, it's like when you read, I think you become a lot more self-aware.
So much, especially in the content that you're reading. That it's because technically people read all the time, all day. Twitter, Instagram, you're reading stuff. But what kind of context are you bringing in? It's just blank bullshit, You know
what's and it's funny. This is like a perfect. I was just talking with somebody about how back in like high school, how much fun it used to be to like watch all the Twitter beefs.
Yeah,
where people would be having their little beefs.
You'd be
on our Xbox game chat, be like, "Hey, you see what that person said?" And you're just like you're consuming all that.
Yeah.
But it's like how you go back, like make sure you're consuming good stuff.
Yeah, because that really does like what you put in your body. I mean, we got a couple people here that their thing is health. What you put in your body fucking matters, dog. Yeah. It matters.
What you feed your soul.
Put in your mind, what you feed your soul. All of that stuff matters. So I just started really diving into books. And the first book that I read, it was can't remember. It was a Christian book. It was I just randomly decided like I'm gonna read it. It was a big book that I decided to read. It was like 450 pages. I'm like, whoa, I did it though. Finished it. Second book I picked up was The 4 Agreements.
I just got someone just mentioned that book to me. One of my supervisors.
That book is if you want to go on a self-healing journey or whatever the case may be, you want to become a better person. I'll just say that you don't have to heal from anything. You just want to be a better person. That is a great starting point. The 4 Agreements. Now I wish I had it on me. I can't remember the author's name, but if you look at it up, it's pretty self-explanatory. You should be able to see it. Fuck what the cover looks like. The 4 Agreements.
Yeah, I have it on my Amazon card right now. Yeah, they told me to get it.
Yeah, dude, it's. Because what the 4 agreements are, and I'm going to butcher one of them, is don't take anything personal. Try your best at everything, even if your best is 10%. Who gives a shit? Try your best. Be aware of the things that you say, and don't what does it say? Don't take yourself too seriously. And that's, don't quote me. I completely butchered it, but that's the general idea that you get from it. It gives you 4 principles to really live your life by. Break it down real super easy. But you have to practice it. Especially the one that I say takes the hardest. I mean, is the most is the don't take anything personal or assume. Don't assume. That's one that's for sure there. Don't fucking assume. You can assume so much shit. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna give an example. Everybody kind of knows what I'm talking about. Yep. Dude, if you stop assuming, your life will be so much easier. Because sometimes you might assume some shit. Like if somebody sends you a text and you assume that they're fucking pissed off, you reply back and they're just like, "Yo, I'm chilling." That could have started an argument, and God knows where that can go. So that was the first book. Second book. It was 10 Secrets to Happiness and Success. Mm-hmm. Some doctor, whatever. Can't remember his name is. Next time I'll try to fucking write it down. That actually was a good book to go off after 4 Agreements because it touched on the 4 agreements, the 4 principles, but it added a little bit more to it. Gave a little bit more juice to it. So I was, was able to understand it, and it picked it up a little bit more. After that, I read what's the third book that I read? I read 5 a.m. Club. I believe it was the 5 a.m. Club. And that book right there, to this day, I'm on my second read on it, and I'm taking my time with it because now I've gotten the information. I'm just really making sure that I absorb it and everything. That book changed my life 1,000%. It's very hard to kind of talk about the book because there's so much into it. It's one of those books that usually when you get a self-help book or whatever, it kind of tells you like, oh, do this, do that. Your life will be so much better. Cool. But what those books I found for myself were doing was when I was reading them, I would be comparing my life to what the book is trying to say. And it would kind of dampen me a little bit, kind of like, damn, I should be doing this. Damn, I should be doing that. Why am I not doing that, Mm-hmm. This book has characters, has a little story to it. A story that keeps you engaged, but it completely takes the personal out of it. It allows you just to see the aha moments because these characters are not going through that for you. They're the ones that's questioning their lives and that they should be doing better. And you're just reading it and you're seeing this beautiful information that this person's I think it's Robin Shamar. Robin Shamar, I'm pretty sure is what his name is, or Shakmar or something like that. And you just have these aha moments. And you're just like, wow. And that book, the whole from beginning to end, you don't even get to the actual point of the book until the end of the book, by the way. And you could totally cheat yourself and read the end of it and still get some information, right? But what the book does is like it preps your mind. it makes it make so much sense where you're just like, why wouldn't? Not even like, well, I should do that. It's like, why wouldn't I do that? That's, that kind of makes a lot of sense. And the whole to kind of sum up the book easily is you take care of your morning and the rest of the day will follow. You take care of the first half of your day, and the rest of your time will be fucking fantastic. And that means waking up at not just 5 a.m. You wake up at 4:30, so you're starting your day at 5 a.m. And it really touches on the mindset, the soul set, the heart set, and I think that's actually the first three. And that's like, hey, what I did personally just to make more sense is I would make sure when I got up in the morning, I had to go work out. My heart set, make sure I got my blood pumping, make sure that, any stresses, cortisol, right? Is what it's called. Stress. Yeah. Get that shit out. Get that shit out of your body, because sometimes you just feel weird one day and you wake up. It's just your body just being weird. Sweat that shit out. After you're done sweating it out, do something that's gonna, whether it means prayer or meditation, whatever you want to do. Get your mind right. Read a book. Get your mindset and your soul set that is intertwined with each other and whatnot. So make sure you take some time to appreciate life a little bit. Read a little bit. Learn something, and then everything else after that is just gonna flow. So you take care of those things. That's top tier. You're gonna have an amazing time, because you're gonna open up so much time of your day. Yeah, nobody wants to wake up at 4:30 in the morning because they're like, what the fuck is going on at 4:30 in the morning? Exactly. There's nothing going on. All you got to do is focus on you and you alone, because everybody's asleep. You can't go on Twitter. Motherfuckers that are on Twitter at 4 o'clock in the morning probably have nothing to say that you won't even hear. So X that out. Now you have, let's just say your day normally starts at 9 o'clock. You start at 5, you worked out, you cleaned your place, you made your breakfast, you took care of the chores. Hey, I gotta prep some stuff from my online program. You did that shit. So then you go to work and you get home. You're like, oh shit, I got nothing to do. I can do whatever I want now. So for anybody out there that's like, I just don't have the time. Yes, you do. It's time management. You need to figure out what's important to you, and you need to set that stuff first. Yeah, if you have to go to bed, shit, people if you're our age, 26, 27, hey man, partying, that's cool. Get away from that a little bit. I'm not saying don't do it. Do it with celebrations. Something that actually it's meaningful and makes it a little bit better, honestly, because then you can really go out and you're like, hey, we're going out because of this, not just to go get some pussy. That's, who gives a fuck about that, honestly? Seriously.
Chasing some
facts.
That's something we do when we're younger, man, and that's all that matters. But when you get older, it's like, I really don't care. Real shit. I was not. I always say celibate. I'm just gonna say celibate because I can't think of the other fucking word. I was celibate for a year. I wasn't with another woman for a whole year. I completely stayed away from it.
A year?
I went 9 months.
And
I went 9 months.
Yeah.
Y'all are better men than me.
Man, and but it kind of puts it in perspective for you, at least for me personally, about, it makes you think about what kind of woman you want to be around. Because at the end of the day, I feel like, that's the life goal. Find somebody you can settle down with, make some kids, and just, create a legacy. You stop thinking about a lot of the stuff, you stop thinking about, I need to have the baddest one. If you might get lucky, if you actually on your shit and you want to attract that and you become what you want to attract, you'll get your bad one, and that has all the values and all that stuff, but you'll avoid a lot of the bad ones that are bad for you, because then now you're learning to think with your mind and not just with your boy down there. You feel me? You have discernment. Exactly. And you have to listen to that, because then sometimes after you break that cycle and you about to get with somebody, it might feel different. It might feel weird, and you got to pay attention to those things. See, those things I feel like you become more aware of because you're just at a higher level of thinking. But to go back to it, so after the 5 AM Club, I read David Goggins. All right, now David Goggins is my guy, my fucking dude. This guy right here is the reason why I started running everything else. So the 5K was just kind of like I think I can do it. And then I read his book, Can't Hurt Me, and you gain this thing that I call the Goggin. That's what I call it. It's a little voice in the back of your head. So anytime when you read the book, you motivate. You're like, man, I need to push my body to the limits, just to see what I can do. Yep. Fuck what everybody else thinks. Why are you doing this? Because I just want to see. There's no specific reason why. I'm not doing it for charity. I'm not doing this. I'm just doing it just to see how far I can go. Shoot, I remember I signed up for a 10K, and I was gonna do another 5K, but I was like, I've already done that. Like, I know I can do that. I don't know if I can do a 10K. Now, I signed up for the 10K as soon as I was done with the book. Kept running. I remember about 2 weeks before the race, I got sick. Like, I don't know, like allergies hit me like a motherfucker. And when allergies hit me, I'm down for the count, but I'm still like trying to train through it, but I realized like I need to stop. So I didn't train for a week. And then the week before the race, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go in there, boom, boom, boom. shit, I was still feeling a little bit weird from from this, being sick. And I could have easily just been like, no, I'm not going to run it. I'm not ready for it. I haven't ran in 2 weeks. Like, I'm going to be dying that 6 miles. And it's in Riverside, dog. Y'all been to Riverside. Yeah. Hills after hills. That's it. It's a fucking mountain. That's pretty much what it is, And I was going to back out. But then I started thinking, I'm like, remember what you said, Deshawn? You said you wanted to stop saying you're going to do something and not do it. So you'd be disappointing yourself, which is the most important thing. You're not holding yourself accountable. And B, don't be a bitch. Yeah, you didn't prepare for it, but you fucking knew it was coming. So you know what? Go out there and run it. And I died. Golly, boy, did let me tell you now. I'm talking about after at mile 1.5. Yeah. I was like, I got another 4.5 of these motherfuckers, man. And I got this dude that's old as shit. Like, well, not old as shit, but 67. Come on, young man. Damn, bro. Had me look like a straight fool. Like, had another different change of perspective. Like, I thought I was Mr. Fit. All of a sudden, I ain't shit. Yeah. I got these motherfuckers that don't think. I doubt you could have ran that smoking my shit. Talking about, come on, young man. Shit, old dude, you keep going. You keep going,
Letter OG.
So I did that, and then at that point, really just I had made a different life transition. I had a big transition in life. I moved back in with my parents. I wanted to help them out a little bit, whatnot, because life happens, and I wanted to make sure that they were straight. So I went back, and that completely knocked me off my entire routine. Because when you go from it's just being you and your dog, all you got to worry about is you and your dog. You move back in with your parents, you got to worry about your dad, your mom, your sister, the dogs that they got, my other sister that was living there. You got all these other different personalities and all that stuff mixed in together. So now that's more distractions. It's more things to have to worry about, more stresses and stuff. So for a while, it was hard to stay on that track. But I just made sure that what kept me going was, going back to the whole thing of the 4 agreements. Try your best every day, even if your best isn't really your best. That you at least gave that effort. And me continuously doing that, got me to the point where I was like, okay, like I'm still on my track. I'm still doing what I want to do. I decided, I told my parents, like, it's time for me to dip. I said 6 months. I made it to month 5. I got to go. I'm noticing things about myself that I'm going back to. I don't want to go back to that. So boom, went back to that. Moved into, down to Rancho, completely new city. Don't know anybody down there really, obviously, like it's only 30 minutes away, but 30 minutes is a long time, when your homies and everybody that is back home and stuff like that. So, and, if you want to drive that every day, you get, gas prices nowadays, boy, let me tell you, I ain't trying to pay $100 every time I'm filling up. So I had to get used to being back on myself. And that was my second restart. And that's when I really was like, okay, cool. Like I didn't get that down bad or anything like that. I still stayed up on my fitness and everything like that, but I had no direction. I felt like my routine just completely shot. And that can, that could fuck you up in all different times of ways. You start thinking you want something that, you don't want. I messed with a couple of people that really should never even mess with or anything like that. Not everybody that I mess with. Like,
real quick, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm about to die out. Yeah. So, you're cool. Like you probably have like 4 more minutes.
Oh, to wrap it up.
Good, yeah.
Long story short, just kept on that. I had an opportunity to run a half marathon. And one of my dad's friends told me, let's run the Riverside one. I was like, all right, cool. I was on Instagram, seen the Long Beach one. I was like, fuck, I'd rather run at Long Beach than Riverside. Because the last thing I had to remember that Riverside was hills.
Yep.
13 miles of that? Yeah, right.
No more.
Did the Long Beach one. Did pretty well. I didn't train for a marathon, but me just kind of just running over the time I did, super solid. And then Wednesday came and he saw that on the story. He's like, "You're still gonna run it with me, right?" I was like, "Hey, bro, ask me that in about a few days, because right now the answer is no. I'm not gonna do it." Thursday came, I felt good. I felt like not sore or anything like that. And I was just like, "Well, fuck it, let's do it again." And I ran another one the following week, and that right there just let me know, like, okay, you're where you are where you want to be right now. So let's see what else is going. So now that happened, that was like a month ago, I would say maybe. Now I have a half marathon coming up in January just to prepare for the year. I have a marathon in February, which is in Huntington, and then I have the LA marathon, which is in March. Ooh. So yeah, I'm starting the year out banging. Ooh. So everybody that's listening, because I know we got to go soon, if you want to change your life, you want to do something crazy, or you want to start a new process, don't fucking start January 1st, December 1st. Do it for a month. So then you start out the year banging. You start out the year making
30th.
Changes.
November 30th coming up. November 31st.
You got this weekend. I know Friday is December 1st.
Yeah.
I know you want to go out. Go out. That's fine. But fucking go to the gym in the morning before you go out. And then do it again and do it again and do it again until on January 1st, you're feeling like a new person.
Yes,
and
sir.
then you're really making the year because guess what? It's 2024. Who's number 24? Come on now, Kobe.
Ooh.
It's the real Kobe year.
Mamba year.
This is the real Mamba year. Not when you turn 24 years old. It's 2024. Make that shit dope. Do things that you would never thought you would do.
Oh, that
and
hit
see
me
what
in
happens.
That hit me in the heart.
I love.
I'm about to go harder right now.
Yeah, bro. We got leg day after this.
Yeah.
At least I do. I'm
doing
gonna go hard.
I'm doing cardio 2 day right now.
Yep. Hey, and what do you usually do?
I don't know.
You do cardio.
I ain't
you
done
do
it in a
cardio?
minute, but I'm gonna find
Cool.
something. I'm gonna find some stairs.
Push to your limits, man. Push to your limits. Breathe. It's all mental. It's all mental.
Yeah, you can struggle with breathing too.
It's all mental.
Oh,
in
yeah.
through your nose. Don't be a mouth breather. In through your nose. Out through your nose. Unless you have to breathe out through your mouth, but don't ever fucking breathe in through your nose. I mean through your mouth. That shit will fuck you up. The minute you feel like you're getting a cramp, just start taking deep breaths in through your nose. I mean, this is just me personally. I do that. My cramps go away. Everything's good because you're supplying body with oxygen. Don't, because now you're just kind of, you ain't doing shit, really. That's why you cramp up. Because you have no oxygen in your body. Now your body's like, shit. Get that oxygen in, push harder. If you go to the gym, you run 2 miles, run 3. And then in 2 weeks, do 4.
I love this, man. All right, bro. Well, like I said, we done went on a journey with this cast, man. But you know, we were supposed to go left, right. We went left, right, side to side. They did a little everything.
Nah, man. Next time we gotta run this back because you tapped into a lot of stuff that like I want to even talk on more. So
Okay, yeah, I'm down
we
to come
definitely
back
gotta get you back on. Yeah,
For sure, bro. Just let me know.
This is always phase 1. And everybody rocking with us, listening, I thank you. Like I said, this is a true blessing to have not only my boy on here, but to continue with these topics. And like I said, for anybody out there that wants to hop on, wants to go ahead and, promote themselves and or just want to have an authentic conversation, feel free to message me. We'll go ahead and plan anything and really rock with it. So we're going to be heading out. Thank you for everybody rocking with us. This is your boy Shiloh.
boy John.
It's your boy Deshawn.
And your boy Matt.
As always, thank you and God bless.